Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy New Year. It is a new year. We are in 2026. Next month will officially begin Lunar New Year, and the year of the horse. All right, so the year of the horse. Right now, we're in the sign of Capricorn. So anyways, you're all like, we don't care. Oh, all right, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever time of day you are watching this. I'm going to wait for a few people to come on, and while I'm doing that, we'll do the Aloha cards, right? The love one another. Aloha kekahi ikekahi. So, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we can find. Shop at a local farmer's market. There you go. Shop at a local farmer's market. Support the locals. Use chalk to write messages of encouragement on the sidewalk. Use chalk to write encouraging messages on the sidewalk. Love that one. Register to vote. Let's see. I think we did that one. Ooh, bake a special treat for your neighbor. Bake a special treat for your neighbor. I like these. I like these a lot. But I really like the use chalk to write messages of encouragement on the sidewalk. I do. I love that. And people will be like, that's defacing public property, or that's defacing this, that, or the other. Dude, it's raining right now. It will wash off. And if it doesn't wash off, it'll wash off, or it'll come off over time. So, slow your roll, chill your heels, calm down. I know, like that's ever worked on anybody. Anyway, we're here. Happy New Year. So I was gonna just jump right out of the Jack in the Box and go boom right in your face, but I decided it's the new year and it's probably wise to not just go, full throttle, full soapbox on the first show back in the new year. So let's roll. I know. I don't know why. I think maybe my adrenaline's kicking in. I don't know. All right. So, I had some notes here. And then I found these just sitting on my typewriter, my keyboard, which looks like a typewriter. Thank you, older sibling, for that, because that's pretty awesome. And it clicks like one too. And I love to write, so it's just, fun. But anyways, good morning, Muddy. So, yeah. My notes were, as we start a new year, many will be planning resolutions, perhaps experimenting with dry January. So here are some of the thoughts I had towards the end of December. I don't know why I put January, probably because it is January. At the end of December. Why I'm fixing this? No idea. So let's talk about them. But before I get to those thoughts, there are people who are going, full balls to the wall, New Year's resolutions. Good morning, Cousin Jeannie. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to you too, Sammy. So, I don't know where older sibling is. I did wake her up this morning. She probably fell back asleep. So anyways, here's the thing. If you're a person who feels like they're being peer pressured into making, resolutions, don't, all right? I'm not here to promote bad behavior. If you want to do a resolution, you want to do dry January, whatever it is you want to do, go for it. What I'm asking you is, if you are one of these people that are like me, that generally fall flat on their face by day 3, don't shame yourself. All right? Don't shame yourself. Please do not shame yourself. Resolutions are kind of, I don't know, they can be a starting line for some people, and for others they just feel like peer pressure, or they just feel like a load of pressure that a lot of people may not be ready for, because it's like, okay, I'm going to wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, I'm going to the gym, and I'm going to, bench press 500 pounds. That doesn't work, right? You do it slowly. Do it slowly. If you really want to stick to whatever resolution it is that you have, you don't necessarily need a gym. If you got the internet, you got YouTube. That will help you. So if you want to go to the gym every other day, just as you learn to acclimate to the time change for you. If you're used to waking up at 6:30, but you still go to bed at like 11, expecting yourself to be up at 5, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot, because your body's going to start reacting to that. It's going to be tired. Okay. So If you want to do this, do it slowly, but you can also do things at home. You do not need to hit the gym every day if you don't want to. You can still do exercises at home. There are tons that you can do. There are tons of things you can do. And it also gives your body a chance to, to catch up. All right. So, don't shame yourself. Now, if it is something you want to do, but you're like, I'd rather sit in front of the TV eating Cheez-Its, then you need to make the choice. All right. I'm not here to force anyone to do anything. If you want to sit in front of the TV and eat the cheese, it's fine. I am not in charge of you. But what I am trying to relay and express is that a lot of times when we fail, and I mean fail, at our resolutions, we start to get down on ourselves. We start to get hard on ourselves. And then we start to kind of just fall into this funk saying, oh, that's just another year that I didn't complete it. You can complete your goals. Just make an actual plan that makes sense. All right. Don't just, like I said, don't just go balls to the wall. Some people can do that, but not everybody can. So if you're one of those people that can go balls to the wall, I wish I was more like you, but I'm just me. So there you go. As for me, my resolution about 3 years ago, actually about 5 years ago, was to not make any more resolutions, because I tend to fail at them. I don't follow through. And then I spiral because I start shaming myself. And that's the one thing I don't want anyone to do. And that's where we're going to come into what I want to talk about now. So, this may not pertain to everybody. It may pertain to some of you. It just depends, right? So there's a common thread I find with people who have suffered trauma, childhood trauma, okay? And I'm not going to name any specific childhood trauma. It could be any childhood trauma, all right? But there is a very common thread I seem to see amongst all these, all my fellow, trauma survivors, okay? And, when we say trauma, now I know a lot of you know mine, but don't focus on that, because trauma, it can be a lot of different things. It could be bullying in high school. It could be bullying at home. It could be, having one parent pick on you and the other parent doesn't believe you. Now that did not happen to me, but I do know someone that did happen to, because their other parent was away a lot traveling. And so, it was just, and that person grew up with a lot of trauma because of that, literally did not like themselves. One of the most beautiful people I've ever seen, and it was just kind of like, no, I'm ugly. And it's like, what? So, and then when you start to learn the backstory, you're kind of like, oh, but it could be a lot of different things. It may not even have happened in the house. It could have happened outside of the house. So a lot of times what the common thread is, I find, is why am I not more ahead like everybody else in my age group? I see all these people in my age group doing all kinds of things, and here I am. So my first thought was the healing thoughts, because I sometimes struggle with that. And I'm going to start with this. So your whole identity has become what happened to you, and despite the danger it potentially poses, you stay there in the chaos because it is familiar, so it feels safe. It's holding you back. Right? I mean, safe. I put safe in there because it's not safe. And I will tell you, when I went on my healing journey and I came to the, I don't want to say, it's not like the proverbial ending, right, of that particular part of my journey. I struggled with moving into the next phase, and I'm not even sure I still have, but moving out of the old one was very difficult, because moving out of the old one meant rewiring my brain to think very differently than it had for the first 45 years of my life, or however long after, when I finally hit a place where I could start healing. And when I finally hit that place where, somebody finally knew. But because of all the trauma that happened before that, your brain is already rewired, especially if it happens to you in your formative years. You already are thinking in a way that is confusing. You're already like the master of secrets, because, you've had to hide things and make it realistic so nobody ever knew or nobody ever questioned it. And so, you've kind of had to, in a way, grow up faster than you wanted to, but while also pretending to have to be a child. So it causes a lot of confusion. And it can really wreck you mentally, seriously. Some people are able to move through it and move past it, but some of us, it took a little bit longer. And because it took a little bit longer, we may have not gone down the path we thought we could. Maybe we didn't have that belief in ourselves. Maybe we had that kind of, squirrel brain where we just couldn't focus. So we end up in places that we didn't think we'd ever end up in, just struggling and trying to just get to the next moment, get to the next day. And the hardest part for me was learning how to leave the chaos behind. And the chaos was all in here. Because, being disrespectful, I guess, is the best way I can put it, to myself was a lot easier than loving myself. It was a lot more familiar to me than loving myself. Loving myself felt like, oh, well, I'm a narcissist. You are not a narcissist, all right? Self-love is a choice. Self-love is a choice, and you're choosing to look at yourself the way other people see you. How many of you, raise your hands, okay, have gotten compliments and just don't know how to accept them? You say, oh no, it's okay. Or, oh, you would have done the same for me. Or, like this morning, right? I made my dad coffee, and because the machine's in here. I know, he didn't want it in the kitchen, so it's mine and it's going home with me next week. So, but how many of you are just sitting there going, oh, yeah, that's me. I struggle with compliments. I do. Well, I do. But I sit there and it's just like, well, he's like, well, why did you make me coffee? It's like, well, I'm making myself coffee. Why wouldn't I make you coffee? And then he's like, well, thank you. But why did you do it? It's like, you know what? Just stop. And I'm like, you know what? All you got to do is say thank you and end it there. But, older siblings the same way. They do things for people, and they do things for people, and they do things for people. But when people do something for them, it's kind of like, and my dad, I get, not the best upbringing in the world, but he came out fine. So, my grandparents were kind of lame. But anyways, but yeah, that's where the other thing comes in, right? The hardest part about healing, at my age, has been trying to figure out where I belong in a world that feels like it blew right by me. So a lot of times it feels that way because our mind is in a state of chaos. Our mind is in that place of pain and hurt. And I see people get stuck there. It is easier to, reach out and ask for empathy and compassion while also giving it. But then when you receive it, it's kind of like, well, I don't know. But we have to move away from that. And I found myself doing that. I found myself just kind of, sometimes just, I don't know. I don't want to say I wasn't attention seeking when I would post my nope posts, nope, I'm not having that kind of day. A lot of it is, me hiding behind mental health advocacy, but a lot of it too is me not knowing how to ask for help, how to not, say, hey, I'm having a rough day. Do you have any words of encouragement? Because it's hard. Because you spent those formative years not asking for help, not, reaching out to anyone to see you through something that was awful, that was painful, that was horrible. You had to fix it yourself. You had to deal with it yourself. And because of that, we have trained our brains in a way that needs to be untrained. If we can wire our brains that way, we can rewire our brains. And the first step really is that foundation of self-love. I talked about that. I did a self-love series a couple of years ago. And, the foundation of that house that you're building, it has to be a solid foundation of self-love. Otherwise, you're just building a house of cards. And if one big wind comes by, boom, it's going to fall. And you're going to be sitting there scrambling, trying to pick up all these cards going, what happened? Because, again, if you're going to make a resolution and you have been hurting and you have been struggling, this is the one to start with. a lot of times, believe it or not, that self-love is what drives you to go, get healthier if that's what you want to do. It gets you through dry January if that's what you want to do. It gets you into places like therapy or asking for help or asking for support. Because you realize I'm worth it and I really want to be here for a lot longer. How many lives can I touch? How many lives have I already touched? I have a friend that still struggles a little bit with, just not feeling like they belong. And this person is one of the people that truly, truly saved my life. Never met her in person, just met her online. And I met her when I started my Twitter account, my second one, my Shellbell's Quest, my mental health advocacy. And she was one of the first people, because I learned about the hashtag CSA. And she was one of the first people to just kind of embrace me and make me feel seen. And I mean, I'm not saying that my other friends didn't, and I'm not saying my other family members didn't, that know, the extent of what I've been through, because that's a very small number of people that know the extent of what I've been through. But this person did. And while it was kind of a bittersweet moment of, whoa, I'm not alone, but oh, I'm not alone. It started opening my eyes and it started helping me on my journey to getting better. It was a long process for me because, I kept getting stuck in the chaotic identity. I kept getting stuck in saying, well, no, I don't deserve it. No, or, I'd make all this progress and then boom, go backwards. Even with therapy, even with all these things. So if there's anything you are going to do for yourself this year, anything at all, please, please, please make it self-love. Learn how to love yourself. Learn how to create this path for yourself. It's not going to always be easy. For some people, just like that, right? For other people, it's not that easy. It will take time. It may take, professional help. That's up to you. I can't force you into therapy, but I'm telling you, if it keeps crossing your mind, go. And like I said, you don't need to, go into an office anymore. You can even do it online if you have, I know my therapist, she's the one that graduated me. She graduated me. She told me if I'm ever not feeling well or I don't feel like, I can make the drive, maybe it's pouring or something. She says, just call me. Just, leave me a message and we'll do a FaceTime, we can do a web call. Okay. And a lot of people are like that, or they have therapy online now, like BetterHelp and, all these other places that, it's just online or on your phone. Okay. So there's not a lot of reasons why you can't, if maybe you still feel stigmatized. And that's one of the reasons I still stick with mental health advocacy, right? Because we got to destigmatize this shit. Seriously. And forgive my language, I know first swear word of the year on the Aloha Perspective is because I'm so tired of people stigmatizing mental health, including on TV. They do it a lot, it's just like, oh, well, they have mental health issues, or they were in an asylum, or they were in, group home. It's like, yes, there are going to be people who stray off the course of normal human behavior. But there's also just regular people towing that line going, oh my God, I really need help. But TV makes it look so bad. Movies make it look so bad. Do your homework, okay? That's entertainment. But I get it. There's a lot of people that think, oh, that's exactly what they're like. No. Come on. My therapist had to graduate me from therapy because, she told me I have a codependent, I was codependent. I had codependent behavior. And here, I'm like, no, I don't. And it's like, well, I'm graduating you because, you're done. And it's like, oh, I guess maybe I might. So anyway. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. But anyways, that being said, again, okay, we'll read this card again. Your whole identity has become what happened to you, and despite the danger it potentially poses, you stay there in the chaos because it is familiar, so it feels safe. It is not safe, it is holding you back. I did not get that from a book. I did not get that from the internet. I got that from in here. Because this is what I was saying to myself. Because I still tend to slip back in to that safety and comfort of the chaos. And I'm getting better and better at leaving it behind. That's a codependent relationship right there. But I'm getting better and better at leaving it behind. I'm getting better and better at saying, no, you know what? I deserve better. I deserve better than to wake up every morning thinking I'm not worth it. If my mom were still here and I said that to her, no. She probably would have said, I don't make weak babies. Lady, go through what I went through in my life and we'll see. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So anyways, yeah, you know, I'm not the kind of person that just pushes it down. Because when you push it down, it's still going to come up eventually. It just comes out in different ways. So, you know, you don't realize that's what it is. You don't realize the initial, you know, source and root of that issue that keeps coming up and spitting itself at other people. Because it's coming out minimally, but it's still working its way up. That's why pushing it down, in my opinion, just my opinion, does not work. It's a temporary fix. That's all it is, just a temporary fix. So we have to figure out how to leave chaos behind. All right. And when it comes to feeling left behind, I'll read you what I wrote at the bottom. I did not read that the first time. I belong in this moment. I am exactly where I need to be and where I am meant to be. Okay, now that is an amalgamation of a bunch of different affirmations and whatnot that you can find on the internet. But I do belong in this moment. Okay, so some people may feel like they're a little farther ahead of me. But I need to learn how to keep my eyes on my own paper, right? I need to stop looking at these other people and going, wow. Like, for instance, every so often when Dad and I are watching football or when I'm watching football by myself, I think about the Steelers head coach, Mike Tomlin, right? This guy's won a few Super Bowls, been coaching the Steelers for like a bazillion years, and he's like 6 months older than me. And I sit there and go, wow. But then I'm thinking, you know, okay. And then they talk about his family and all this. And it's like, wow, I feel really kind of left behind. And then I remember that that's his life. He put a lot of hard work in. He did a lot of stuff. And yeah, I don't like the Steelers. But that was Sissy Joe's team. I'm a Charger fan. But, you know, so kudos for him. So instead of being jealous, just be like, wow, look at this guy go, you know, or look at this guy go, or look at that person go. Because I'm starting to notice that this generation of mine, this Gen X generation of mine, we're blowing all the barriers. And the later boomers as well, right? And I mean, I hate using the term boomers because there's a lot of them. I mean, my dad up until the last year was really like, he was like my kid, you know, it's like, got to reel him in. So I was the old lady, but yeah, don't pay attention to what other people are doing. All right. If you want to go back to school, go back to school. You want to do whatever it is you want to do, go do whatever you want to do. All right. Don't let people stop you. And more importantly, don't let age stop you. Okay. I'm not sure how many times I'm going to mention this throughout the year, but I'm heading into 53 this week. All right. And I never thought that I would share my age because I always thought, oh my God, people are going to think I'm old. Nobody's going to want me, you know, because that's my thing, right? It's kind of like, wow, because the older you get, the less you feel like you're attractive to other people, or the less you feel like you're worthy of someone else's affection, or the less you feel, you know, and then I feel like I got a sign the other night, right? Because Dad and I have been watching the new Hawaii Five-0. Yes, we've seen all the old ones, all right, because, you know, from Hawaii, gotta watch. I think he watches it too because he just likes to see the sights. So, and it was an episode with Carol Burnett and Frankie Valli. And she's, you know, she's obviously older. She's their aunt, you know, so she's probably in her 70s or whatever. And for the first time, she was getting married. Now, she was dying, But that's beside the point. She was getting married and she said, yeah, all these things passed me by, but this has been my happy moment. I never thought this would happen for me. So for all of you out there who feel like me, hang in there. All right. We never know. Because like I said, this generation and the later generation from before us, I hate it when people say boomers, okay? Because I know people that are younger than me that act old. Okay, so you people and your little, well, you must be a boomer. All right, excuse me for I said I wasn't getting on my soapbox, but so far I've sworn and given 2 middle fingers. So I'm saying that because age is just a number. Age is just a number. We can learn so much from every generation before us. And we can learn stuff from the new generation after us. But I am going to firmly sit here and say that the younger boomers and the Gen Xers are breaking barriers. We're breaking down these barriers and taking names, okay? Kicking ass and taking names. Because I think we're getting to the point where it's like, I am sick and tired of people saying, oh, well, you're this age, how come you don't have this? Or you're this age, how come you didn't get that far? Or you're this age. And it's like, you know what? Because we were raised to be independent. We were raised to not necessarily need to lean on other people. And as I finally catch up with me, I'm realizing, wow, there's all these things. And like I said, one of the hardest things that I've had to do, and even if you haven't, suffered from trauma as a child, you may still have chaos brain. You may still feel like you're behind everybody else in your class of whatever year you graduated. Like, oh, well, look at that person go. Or that person just made the Hall of Fame in high school. Or that person did this. And here I am. But are you happy? Because if you're happy, that's what matters. Not the job that you're in. Not the house that you're in. It's if you're happy. Are you content with the life that you're living? And if you're not, then make changes. That's your choice. That's up to you. That's what you get to decide for yourself. But keep your eyes on your own paper. And I need to remind myself to do the same. Keep my eyes on my own paper. Because this is my journey. Those people who may be far ahead, maybe they did go through the same thing I did. Maybe they didn't. But clearly our healing journeys were different. And honestly, I finally feel like I'm at where I'm supposed to be at. Spreading this word, spreading this, hope of destigmatizing mental health. Spreading, the reality that there's a lot of people out there that were just like me and how we need to come through it together, whether you've suffered a trauma or not. Listen to people, be there for them. If we do anything in this new year, let's fill this world with love and hope and faith. Not any kind of faith, just when I say faith, I mean having faith in our fellow man. Because it's already started out awkward this year. Not gonna lie. It has already started out awkward. Not 2 seconds into the new year and bam. So, if we want to save this world and the worlds around us, our little worlds that we live in, our little bubbles, then we have to start from in here. Okay? Find your footing in your self-love. Find a way to move out of the chaos brain and realize that you don't need to do certain things to get the wrong kind of attention. Just be yourself. And you don't always need that kind of attention, right? I mean, older sibling has always told me you're very charismatic. Because I said, why do people like me so much? I mean, I literally said that to her. I'm like, why do people like me so much? I don't get it. It's like they just migrate to me. And she's all, because you're charismatic. She's like, you have charisma. And actually, she said the big C. She's all, you have the C word. I'm all like, because, here we kind of know what the C word is, right? I'm like, what? And she says, you have charisma. And I still struggle with that, right? It's like, really? I know. But, this is a person that will never lie to me. Okay, except when it comes to my Christmas and birthday presents. Is it this? No. Sometimes I've nailed it and she's like, no. But she's so good at it. It's like, then you open it, you're like, oh my God. So keyboard included. I love this keyboard. I have to, okay, look, I'm just going to show it to you really quick. I'm digressing, or not digressing. I'm shifting, I'm squirreling, but check it out. Look how cool it is. And there's different colors. I know it's kind of hard to see. I don't think you can see it. Is it even connected? Uh-oh, what did I do to it? My colors aren't working. Ruh-roh. Oh, there it is. There we go. Say, oops. Sorry. They're colorful, right? And you can hit the little thing, you know, on the side, and it has all different kinds of, you know, like you can hit one letter and then it lights up across the board. So it, you know, while you're typing, it's just constantly just glowing. You can do it. That mode I just showed you, I use that when I'm writing in the dark so I can actually see the keyboard because I don't type like a normal person. Or you can just do it where you hit oh, see, look, like where you hit a letter. I don't think you can see it. You hit a letter and it just, oh, there you go, where it just kind of lights up. I know, it's hard to see. I'll post a video later in the dark. Oh, here, hold on. You know what? I'm just going to bring you with me here. La la la, where's the thingy? Because I'm so excited. I love this keyboard. So, see, like that. How awesome is that? I know, don't mind that pile over there that you probably just saw. That's all my reusable bags. But anyways, all right, so I've gone on longer than I wanted to. I know I'm trying to figure out how to make these shows shorter so I don't lose people, especially people like me that just kind of squirrel in every direction. But also, I'm still playing with the idea of Auntie Shelley on the Aloha Perspective. Welcome to the Aloha Perspective with Auntie Shelley. Why not? I'm at this age, right? You know, I don't have kids, so I'm like, I want to be the auntie to the world. I want to be Auntie Shelley to the world. You know, I would say Auntie Shelley Marie, but you can do whatever you want. Shelley Marie, Shelley. And eventually when we get to know each other, Auntie Shell. Auntie Shell. That's right. So I'm still playing with that idea, but feel free if you see me in the wild, Auntie Shelley. So, because I'm game. All right. I love it. Those are magical words to me. Whenever I see my nephews, well, now it used to be Auntie Shelley. Now it's like, hey, Auntie Shelley. But I'll take it. I'll take it. All the babies are growing up. My cousins need to have more babies because, you know, I miss when they're little. They're so cute. I mean, they're still cute now, but they're getting older. You know how that goes. All of you out there who are parents or aunts and uncles, they're just kind of like, they're older now. It's like, yeah, you get the side hugs now. Except my youngest, Pickle. Pickle still gives me the full, you know, the full auntie hugs. So, and it's cute because I'm going to share this before I let you go. This kid is just, I mean, I love all my nephews and the very sparse few nieces I have, but, this kid, every time he hugs me, he does not let go. He does not let go. And I just like, you know, I usually let go first because I'm like, I know most people don't like hugs, but, or they don't like long hugs. But baby sibling actually got a picture of us just hugging each other. I think we stood there for like 3 minutes just in a hug. That kid, my heart. But, yeah, like I said, I love them all. I love them all, but he's very affectionate and he's very sweet and he's very thoughtful. So, you know, there's just something about his soul, you know, and I feel bad because I'm not trying to take away from, you know, the others, but yeah, there's just every time it's like Auntie Shelley. So, you know, anyways, that's my smile for the day. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelley Marie Lucas. You can find me on YouTube, and from there, it spreads across the social media board. So if you find yourself back at YouTube, please feel free to click and subscribe. I know it's kind of annoying when it's, you know, vertical instead of horizontal screens, but yeah, we're here for the message. So Come for the thought, stay for the conversation. All right. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Cousin Jeannie, Sammy, I hope you both have a wonderful day. Thank you also for being on my journey, because I appreciate that immensely. I really, really do. Everybody that's been with me on this journey and continues to help me find my way on this journey, I appreciate you all. So again, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. If I can make this stop. Oh my God. Have a great day.